keep in mind also, the thing that really bothers me about all these people, car insurance, credit card, landlords, fucking everybody, the utility company, the water company, they all speak to you as though you are voluntarily doing this, as though they are doing you a favor. I don't want to pay for any of this shit. I don't want to do any of this. I didn't ask to do any of this at all. I didn't ask for it. I didn't even have to be fucking alive. I don't want to do this. I don't want to pay my car insurance. I don't want car insurance. I don't want to give you my new driver's license. I don't want to fucking do that, but I have to for some fucking reason, because for some fucking reason, in order to be alive, you have to pay 20 different people $200. And you have to keep reciting random digits of numbers. Everything about being alive is just fucking numbers over and over again. Important numbers for this, important numbers for that. You gotta type in this password, you gotta type in this number, you gotta type in this thing, and if you get it wrong, you're gonna go to jail.
Kohlo Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. Salutations to you brothers in the house and byways. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn. I am the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. As always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect. Okay? The title of this one is Esau is Finished. Esau is finished. I couldn't make my mind up. I don't know if I should have put Esau is done or Esau pack you up. Esau's finito, through, as the beloved Elder Yashawamba says a lot, and I actually use that myself, thanks to that brother. But yeah, man, Esau's finished, man. Esau's finished. You can see it in this guy's face, man. How desperate, how through. You know what I mean? How over it he is with Babylon, man, and Babylon's lifestyle, and the fact that as you hear him complaining, he has to make all these payments, man. What's the phrase? I think the phrase goes, not to play devil's advocate, to his defense, I guess, is the terminology I'm looking for. To his defense, the cost of living in Babylon is through the roof, man, in a lot of major cities, mostly where the most populated areas are, I think I live in one of the top 3, here in Boston, Mass. I think it comes in 3rd place next to California and New York, my hometown where I was born and raised. Anyways, yeah, man, look at the desperation in this man's face, man. He's in the car probably with the AC up and he's still sweating. He's redder than ever. Nigga, purple, blue, red, all types of fucking colors going crazy there. And he hasn't even reached the peak, right? Or the tipping point. Because Esau's the type that will wipe himself out. If he doesn't wipe others out, he'll wipe himself out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that man is looking like, man. He's, when things get even a little harder, a little tougher out here, this could be one of the first ones to off himself, man. Ultimately, that's just doing a favor for everybody, unless devil in this godforsaken country, But yeah, man, Esau can't stand the pressure, man. Esau can go through struggling, difficult times, man. Not the vast majority of them, at least. There is a fine amount of them that I don't know what the amount is. I know There's an amount that, has been poor and struggling for a while. Then you got others that been living off the privilege that their higher ups, of Edomites have given them, the whole white privilege, while the higher ups was living off the power, money, taxes that this man is complaining about. Also, I didn't hear him say taxes, but I would imagine he's not too happy to pay those, especially when you know that it was something that they used after the First or Second World War. It was like almost like to compensate. From what I remember, it was to compensate. I believe so. The point is, they kept it and have been making billions, if not trillions, of dollars off of the citizens, and they never took it out, man. You got presidents that come in and say that they're gonna do away with it or change it up or whatever bullshit lie they tell the people, in order to pander and get votes from these people. But nonetheless, man, Esau is finished, man. His reign is coming to an end, and you could tell, man, that as it says in Revelations, where they're gonna be, come down as like as madmen, as a flood and madmen, because Esau has this natural anger inside of him. So you could tell, and you could see when that time comes, how much of a demon he's going to turn into, or surpass, or just start showing, right? And so it's not hard to tell, but let's get a few scriptures and make this short, sweet, to the point. The first one I want to bring out is the book of Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Yeah, and this is the people, like everyone, okay? Especially when you see like this country, Babylon, which, whoever is elected president or whatever laws, economical wise or whatever, have to do with stocks and things of that nature, whenever that changes or changes, it affects the rest of the world. You know what I mean? In many cases, this is like the head of the rest of the world, man. Babylon always leads with not only trends but things that are going on. Whatever happens here has a ripple effect around the world. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay, not whatever happens in another country. Sometimes it does, but this one in particular, whatever affects this country, it ends up affecting the rest of the world, man. And there's no doubt that the people that are in authority and have been in authority since the inception of this country, or this nation, it's been nothing but mourning for the rest of the world. And as a matter of fact, when you keep reading the scripture, which is where I wanted to get to, Salakia, it says, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And the people are mourning right now, man. You see this man over here in the screen, man. He's mourning, man. Okay, you don't only mourn the death, but you also mourn when you're going through some really fucked up times, man. Their American so-called normal life is dead, so they mourning that, man. And it isn't coming back, man. It isn't coming back, man. And many of them know, man. The only thing coming back is Yahweh Shai, man. And with that is righteousness and order in a world full of disorder, man. Okay, and that anarchy and chaos, man. That's all you really see throughout the planet. Okay, and let me see. Let's get Baruch chapter 3 verse 8, right? Because, obviously this is speaking about us, right? When it says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, right? That's talking about Israel, the Lord scattering us, right? Deuteronomy, what's that, 28? I forget where it is now, Salakia. Isn't Deuteronomy 20? It's one of the curses, man, that we were going to be scattered. It says, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, all right, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. Okay, so one of those curses that Israel was going to have on them is being subjected to payments, right? Paying tributes, taxes, right? Rendering what Caesar's to Caesar's, man, to Caesar. Okay, but with that, even though the scripture's solely speaking on Israel, this man right here on the screen is also subjected to those payments, man. Okay, not for a reproach or for his iniquities or his father's iniquities, but the fact that the wicked, his people, are in authority. So he's also suffering from that. It's also affecting him and affecting everybody here, man. Okay. Because you got to think about it. The same things, the same laws that are applied to us are applied to them. Now, are they in trouble like everybody else? No, not by a long shot. But they do end up getting the shorter end of the I think it's the stick, the way the phrase goes. Because they're a part of everybody else that's under that poverty line, or just the vast majority of Americans right now are struggling, man. I think it was like a couple million people were late to their mortgage payments for the past few months, maybe even more, because Esau lies with the numbers and the information. You know what I mean? But they're also in it, man, because Esau don't give a fuck about his own people, right? And since I said that, let's get Ecclesiasticus real quick. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 14, verse 5, right? It says, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? Right? We know that these taxes, man, are unrighteous, man. Especially when these corporations bring in billions and trillions, and they a lot of times don't pay almost nothing. You know what I mean? And they know that they have their loops and the laws and everything, but that just goes to show you that there's nothing but confusion in this place, man. Babylon, man. Okay, which is why we call it Babylon, right? It's a Babel, just confusion. Just misdirection, misinformation, lies being spread. I mean, it's fucking legal for the government, the American government, to push propaganda on their own citizens. In other words, it's legal for them to be 100%. Oh man, I just lost that word. Salakia. Disingenuine, right, and lie to its own people, man. So the scripture here is saying he, right, Esau, that is evil to himself, right, to him and his people, to whom will he be good, right? And the answer to that is to no one. You read on, it says, he shall not take pleasure in his goods, man. All right, so you see how Babylon is just circling the drain, and it's because of all the fucked up, unrighteous decisions, you know what I'm saying, that has been pushing on the people, his own, and right, and even our people. First, our people, because a lot of these laws are designed to keep us down, but his own gets caught up in there, and he don't give two damns. You know what I mean? He don't give two shits about his own people. But he's not gonna take pleasure in his goods, man. which is why you're seeing all this disorder all over the place, man. And a lot is going on, man, you know, because of, like I said, the decisions that this man has made in the past. We're living in the latter end, right, on the result of those disingenuous and unrighteous laws and decrees, man, you know, that this man passes, both financially and, you know, and even just, you know, personal to your own home, you know, where you live. Right? This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7:7. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Right? Now, many times we use this with when we're talking about Israelites, man, but, you know, anybody could be a wise man, right? If they're a man and they're wise. But at the same time, you know, scripture says that describes Esau as being wiser than Daniel. You know what I mean? So a lot of these scriptures are twofold and manifolds often, all right? So the reason I'm bringing this one out is because you see this man, he's going nuts, man. He's both pissed off and borderline insane, you know? I mean, if this is the way he's expressing himself, when he still at least has the means to work and make all those payments that he's complaining about, imagine when he doesn't have to work, or they cut the hours at work, you know, or they up the rent and taxes and whatnot. What do you think? He's gonna stop complaining and he's gonna start getting physical, because Esau's a carnal man, yo. You know, that's how he resolves his problems, is carnally. The man don't give two fucks about anybody or anything, right? And that white privilege was a gift that destroyed their mind, really had them thinking that God was with them. If the Lord is with them and they can do no evil and they're good, and, you know, after all the fucking madness that they trampled the rest of the planet with, these motherfuckers got the caucasity to preach or teach falsely that, you know, they're going to be in the kingdom of the Lord, which is fucking crazy, you know. All this oppression, all this bloodshed, all this murder, all this stealing of people, souls of men, you know, and you think you're gonna just get in there scot-free, man? Come on, man. You know, it's over, man. Alright, well, what I named it again? Esau is finished, man. Alright, with that, let's get Job 20. This is Job 20:5. It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite before a moment. It's over for Esau, man. Alright? His little season is just about done, man. We're living in the last moments of it, man. Where all hell is breaking loose, chaos. Alright, his enchantments are not working, you know. By that I mean his lies and whatever other fucking try to crazy sorcery he's probably up to, man. You know, because these people are all devils, man. They're all demons. They're into witchcraft and what's the other shit, warlocks and all that. You know, they benefit from it largely, man. You know, like the pharmaceutical companies. That's nothing but a bunch of witches running that place, man, or that industry. From the higher ups to the people that are going around distributing the shit, you know, whether they know or don't know, you know, sooner or later they'll know. You know, I know every time I speak to somebody, I make it my point to get across to them that, you know, that pharmakia. You know, pharmacy, it all roots back to pharmakia, and the definition of that is witchcraft, man. So I let them know that, you know, them and their people are a bunch of witches, man. Whether they like that or not, man. Some people appreciate the truth, right? Others, man, in their pride, they won't say nothing. you know. But who gives a shit, man? As long as you get your point across and you let them know what time it is and who's who, what they're doing. Not saying to go around, you know, because you gotta be incognito, man. You gotta be like Clark Kent. When you're not in the highways and byways and you just working, you don't want to tell these people who you are, what you do every Saturday and Sunday, right? Things that you teach. But when it's historical things, or historical topics that I'll be talking to somebody about, I make sure they know all the fucked up crazy shit the so-called white man did, you know what I mean? And how he's benefiting from it right now, even today, you know? This is Deuteronomy 30:7. It says, and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Right? It says, and thou shalt return and obey the voice of Yahweh and do all his commandments, which I commanded thee this day, man. Because you know what we all the laws are going to be written in our inward parts, right? And we know, and we know that, and we also teach that keeping the laws is not going to save you. It's the faith that you have in Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach. Right, but he has never given anybody license to sin, and the scriptures also say that we'll be rehearsing the righteous acts, right, which are the commandments, man. If I know I shouldn't be dealing with another man's woman, I'm gonna keep myself from doing that, right? There's nothing wrong with that, even though I might be putting on clothing that has mixed. Mixed, not garments, I forget, but you know, like, mixing polyester and cotton, which is almost everything that we wear. It's like polyester and a little bit of, 65% polyester and 35% cotton and this, that, and the fucking third. You know, that's a part of the laws, not to wear mixed clothing like that. But these are things that sometimes we don't have no power over. You know what I'm saying? Most of everything that we buy, especially when you're buying on a budget, it's mixed fabrics. There we go. That's the word. The water Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Mixed fabrics, man. We don't have the power to just, or the means many times to just buy 100% cotton. Like one of my favorite brands is Ralph Lauren Polo, right? I love the T-shirt. I mean, not the T-shirt, the polo shirts, the long sleeves, the short sleeves, whatever. It's very good quality fabrics, man, and it's 100% cotton mostly. But it's going to be some laws you're going to be able to keep with no problem, and then some you're going to be unwillingly going off on. But in the eyes of the Lord, you're rehearsing it. You're not being a flat out just sinner, knowing that you sin and knowing that you're going off and you're still doing it. You know what I mean? Where was I? Salakia. Yeah, I was reading Deuteronomy 30:7. And Yahweh, thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And this is what you're seeing, man. Right? These debts, these hard times, these struggles, the lack of food. You know what I mean? Problems with the grid. The islands have been going have been having blackouts for decades, man. And you got all these Edomite companies that go over there to so-called help. You know what I mean? But all they do is go over there to bleed the people dry. You know what I mean? And people have gotten accustomed to having, going on 10 to 15 hours of no light. You know what I mean? We being resilient people that the Lord made us, like, hey, we go through it in those islands, whether it be Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, or the other little islands, man. But here in Babylon, man, these Americans are not used to that, man. These Americans are not used to that, man. And, that darkness, that lack of money to pay for your bills, so you won't be in the dark, so they won't cut your lights. and all the other bills. You know, I'm over here paying for like 6 of us, 5 of us. I'm paying like, what is it? Yeah, 6 of us. I got 6 people in my plan, and we pay 3 bills a month, man, for cell phones. Between all of us, right? Like 2 of us pay it. You know, because I got my son and my wife, and then my mother-in-law, her man, you know, my youngest. So between me and her man, we split that, but still, that's $300 a month, you know, for a so-called cheap plan, a cheap, a good plan. Anyways, though, you know, that shit comes out to a few $1,000s a month. I mean, a year. People that don't have the means to do that and get those government phones, and then the data is so slow on it, you know, it's just frustrating, man. It's messed up, and a lot of these Edomites, they can't go through that all that pressure, man. You know, not that they can't go, they're gonna go through it, but they can't handle it, man. It's just why you're seeing this man complain, you know, and talking so much shit, man. But hey, man, you know, we living in those times. I just wanted to bring out this quick lesson, you know, just showing how Esau's finished, man, and scriptures prove that, and we're gonna be in the midst of all that, but we have to wait on the Lord, man. I pray this lesson was edifying. In closing, I want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles. Salutations to your brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out to your brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn. To you all, I say shalom and the Bible ball. Kwam Yasharala.